moved away. I lived overseas on and off for 3 or 4 years, and I came back. I was going to be the next feedlot queen of Australia, and ended up in the Mallee without any cattle. So I've gone the agronomy journey. I started as a sales agronomist in a local store here.
What do you think makes a successful modern farmer?
To be able to change before you're forced to. Really, they're the guys that are very, very profitable and making inroads in agriculture. That have great vision and can see the way that things may play out, and that's how they stay ahead of the game. It is a business. You've got to treat it as a business and try and remove some emotion from that. We've got around 7,000 hectares. Yeah, we grow green lentils and red lentils. We grow what's called a blue pea to go into the split pea market. We grow spelt and deliver that direct to a mill, and we grow wheat. So
what are the main changes that you've seen taking place in the past few years in terms of the technological impacts?
Well, one of the main drivers for our profitability is our crop rotational choices. We've shied away from the cereal on cereal. We've never gone down that path, and we never shied away from the break crops. We stayed quite conservative with our rotation, and because of that, I believe it's not a new technology. It's healthy soil.
As sophisticated as the toolkit becomes, the fundamentals don't change.
They don't change. It's still farming. It's about understanding your soil, understanding the capabilities of what it can grow, and then advancements have meant we can push that, to a greater degree. We can get more out of our soil than we probably could, and varieties have helped that, and new herbicides and more sophisticated sowing equipment and all these sorts of things.
And that environmental management, that management of the soil, it hasn't come a moment too soon with respect to the climate variability that we're all witnessing year in, year out.
Look, certainly our rainfall has dropped off. We had the millennium drought, and it truly was low for 10 years. But what we've found is that no-till and better weed management, summer weed control, we're able to conserve some moisture and use every drop of moisture. And when we have low rainfall years, our water use efficiency is through the roof. We can grow a crop on 100 mil of growing season rainfall.
I mean, 10 years ago, no one used terms like water use efficiency. I mean, today it's the vernacular. It's what it's all about.
Look, we can manage everything else, but we can't manage what falls out of the sky. We can manage it once it has fallen, and try and conserve it and use it to the best of our ability. But it's the great unknown, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's global too. I mean, everybody's in the same boat.
It's an old cliche that we live in a global world, and we do, and someone in Sea Lake can ask a question about his header setup, and someone in the US will answer it.
What do you think's on the horizon that's already sort of piqued your curiosity?
Oh, look, I guess the robotics side of it is the next great step, isn't it? My grandfather wouldn't have thought that you'd be able to sit on a tractor and not steer it. So, who knows?
So, what do you like about living here? For some people, it's a pretty empty landscape, but it also has its a natural beauty to it. But it's a challenging landscape.
It is, and I hate the dust. Well, let me say that right up front. It sounds a bit corny, but it's almost a spiritual attachment to this part of the country. And it's beautiful, and it's rugged, and it's ugly at times, but it's home. And
one of the interesting things that I've noticed, and I'd be interested in your view on this, when you look at the extension people, there's a lot of women now in that role.
There
and
are.
it's not just in Australia. I mean, you can go to Laos or Cambodia, and the people heading out to the remote villages with the extension knowledge are all young women.
For all the history of women, surely we're better communicators, you know, surely, if we talk that much.
Yeah.
So, you've got to be intuitive. You've got to be intuitive to the land, to the season, to the people. It's probably only when you get onto the bigger farms in Australia and the US and Canada that it's male dominated.
Yeah.
Actually, you asked me before what I like most about living here, and I think it's the seasons. Like, it can go from this, and we know that, you know, we'll get a rain and we'll have a crop and it'll come up and it'll be green, and then we'll have all this green all winter, and then spring the canola flowers and the lupins flower, and then we know it's going to go golden and we're going to harvest it again, and that's what I like.
Yeah.
I think is that cycle. We've got a generation now that doesn't have an attachment to the land, and over the last 20 or 30 years, you know, the demographics have changed in our cities. They don't understand the perils of growing food.